So, good evening, everyone present here. The topic for today is dermatology, and the faculty that we have here is Dr. Sanjana Anand, ma'am. She is a critical care and internal medicine consultant. You can take over the session. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the slight delay. There was some update that was happening in the Zoom. Okay. So today I'm going to cover a few topics from the dermatology that will be helpful for your MRCP MCQs. Dermatology is a very vast topic. It can't be covered in just a few hours. So what I have tried to put in this presentation is important topics that are more exam oriented, will be very high yielding. And if you remember these points, you will be able to score at least 80% of all the dermatology questions. Okay. I will try to cover maximum topics possible in 3 to 4 classes. Let us see how much we are able to do. And at the end of each session, we will discuss few MCQs as well. All right. Yeah. So let's start from the basic. So epidermis is the outermost layer of the skin, and it is composed of the squamous epithelial cells with the underlying basal lamina.
In the class.
And the epidermis can further be divided into 5 layers. So these are the stratum corneum, lucidum, granulosum, the spinosum, and the germinatum. Okay, so stratum corneum is the topmost layer. It consists of flat, dead, scale-like cells filled with keratin, and it is usually continuously shed, and there is regeneration of this layer very frequently. The next layer is the stratum lucidum. This is a clear layer present in thick skin only. That is, wherever you see thick skin, for example, in palms and soles, you will find this layer. The next is the stratum granulosum. It is the layer which forms links with the neighboring cells. I mean the neighboring layers. And next will be the stratum spinosum, which has squamous cells, which begin the and start the keratin synthesis necessary to provide keratin for the topmost layer. And this spinosum layer is the thickest layer of the epidermis. Just remember this. They can ask you which is the thickest layer of the epidermis, and that is the stratum spinosum. The next will be stratum germinatum. This is the base membrane of the epidermis. It is composed of a single layer of columnar epithelial cells, and it gives rise to the keratinocytes. Okay, and it consists of melanocytes, which is also important for the production of the melanin. So coming to the epidermis, you will have to remember the layers of the epidermis, which layer gives rise to which cells, and which layer consists of the melanocytes and the keratinocytes, and which is the thickest layer. All right. So just remember all these points, to make notes so that it will be helpful for your final revision. Next, we will move on to basic terminologies. These are also important because this forms the base of dermatology. So whichever lesion you take, it will depend on what type of lesion it is and whether it is a plaque or a macule or a papule. So we will see all the definitions first. So what is a plaque? A plaque is the descriptive term given for a skin lesion that is raised and greater than 1 centimeter in diameter. So it is not a flat lesion. It is raised from the skin surface, and the diameter should be at least 1 centimeter. Next comes the macule. It is an area of altered skin color irrespective of the size. Okay, so this is usually a flat lesion. Next is papule. This is also a raised lesion, but the diameter is less than 1 centimeter. So you will have to remember the difference between plaque and a papule. Plaque will be more than 1 centimeter. Papule will be less than 1 centimeter. Next is ulcer, which is the discontinuity of the skin with complete loss of epidermis, and often portions of dermis and subcutaneous fat depending on the depth of the ulcer. Vesicle is nothing but a fluid-filled, well-circumscribed raised lesion. Pustules are a type of vesicle. Here, the fluid filled usually is purulent matter. Okay, so these are small elevations of the skin containing cloudy or purulent matter. Usually, it also contains necrotic inflammatory cells. Next, coming on to bullae. These are large vesicles, again, a type of vesicle containing serous fluid. Next is fissure. Fissures are nothing but cracks in the skin that are narrow but very deep. Telangiectasia are collection of enlarged capillaries visible on the skin or the mucous membrane. This is important for you in dermatology as well as in peripheral vascular diseases and other topics like varicosities. They might ask you about telangiectasia. Next is lichenification of the skin is nothing but epidermal thickening that is characterized by visible and palpable thickening of the skin with accentuation of the skin margin. So this is lichenification is not a chronic, it's not an acute lesion. It is a chronic lesion which happens over time. So there is epidermal thickening resulting in palpable as well as visible thickening of the skin. Last is the atrophy, which is also a chronic finding. Atrophy of the skin leads to loss of epidermis, dermis, as well as subcutaneous tissue. Thinning of the epidermis presents as skin that appears thin and translucent. Thinning of the dermis and subcutaneous fat leads to a depression in the skin.